Whitaker came alive in the second half, and you see a big basket right there by Rohrbeck, stepping up when they need him. 51-47. The lead is back to 4 now. Just under 3 minutes left in this ball game. Breitbach trying to make something happen against Jeremy David. They work it inside to Kemp. Pitch Kemp, who has 12 points now. Ball out of bounds. Will go back to Panorama. 51-49. This thing's heating up here. Both crowds very vocal. The Wildcats haven't taken care of the ball like I'm sure they would like to have against this press here late in the ball game, and Morris almost steals it. Good aggressive play there by Clay Morris. 2-point Wildcat lead. Panorama has not led since the first 2 minutes of the opening quarter, but they've been in this ballgame the entire time. The lead has never gotten more than 7 points for Glidden Ralston. Panorama losing it out of bounds. Paul Engel last to touch it, so the Wildcats will have it. And they know what's coming. It's that full court press. This time they break it. Open is Whitaker. And that's what you do against a full court press. Pass right over it and through it and beat it down the other side of the court, and it pays off for an easy bucket for Tony Whitaker. The lead is back to 4 now, 53-49. Now their defense has to kick in. Breitbach off the mark. The Wildcats, as we have 2 minutes left in this ball game, need to get across the timeline. They just do. Rohrbeck double team. He and David playing catch over here, and there's Whitaker taking it strong. Nice move. Just a little bit strong off the backboard. Down to 1:45 now. 4-point ball game. Make it 2. Nice shake and bake there by Adam Stringer. 53-51. Glidden Ralston trying to hold off Panorama, and a double dribble called against Jeremy David. And a timeout on the floor with 1:30 left, 53-51. Well, the Glidden REC has another great way of heating. It's thermal storage heat. Its cost is reduced with off-peak rates, low installation, and very inexpensive equipment cost. The heat rises out of the floor where the comfort is best. So if you're thinking about adding on a new workshop or building a new home, call the Glidden REC at 1-800-253-6211. The Glidden REC, providing you with more than just power. Another one of our sponsors is Wes Bunnell, owner of Clark Plumbing and Heating at 1005 North Elm Street in Jefferson. For all your heating and air conditioning needs, call Wes at 515-386-3614 in Jefferson, your full-line Lennox dealer. And Jay's Align, Highway 30 East in Carroll. They're experts when it comes to front-end alignments and all your car needs. At Jay's Align, they'll inspect your brakes, steering, suspension, exhaust, and, of course, your tires. That's Jay's Align, Highway 30 East in Carroll, 792-5800. 1:25 left to go. The Panorama has the ball. They trail by 2. 53-51. Three-pointer by Stanley. Stanley with 15 points has given Panorama a 1-point lead now, 54-53. Their first lead since early in the first quarter, and Blair Danner gets it right back for Glidden Ralston, 55-54. And a foul called, as up with the shot was Adam Stringer. He called the foul on Tony Whitaker. And that three-pointer by Scott Stanley, a big one, momentarily gave Panorama a 1-point lead. Blair Danner, a big shot, came back himself. It's a 1-point Wildcat lead right now, and Adam Stringer at the line. Now best he can do is tie it up. Danner out, Nathan Seaton is in. 53 seconds left in this ball game. And we're tied. 10 points for Adam Stringer tonight. 55-55. As the records will indicate, these teams very evenly matched here tonight. looking for their second win in conference play. They're both 1-1. Clay Morris underneath has it swatted out of there. Stanley comes away with it. 35 seconds left. Still plenty of time. Stringer, tough shot. Adam Stringer somehow got that one to go down. And we have a timeout on the floor. 57-55. Adam Stringer, probably an ill-advised shot until he made it. Then it was a good shot. They lead it by 2 to Panorama. With 23 seconds left, the Wildcats will have the ball. Well, another one of our proud sponsors, especially at this ball game tonight, a good one. The staff and providers at St. Anthony Glidden Medical Clinic. Deb Bergloff, nurse practitioner. Dr. Michael McFarland, Dr. Dominic Urvelli provide medical care to patients of all ages. The St. Anthony Glidden Medical Clinic, located at the corner of Highway 30 and Montana Street in Glidden. And get more from White Outdoor, like more ways to help you save money on snow blowers. Ask about our prices, financing options, and their great dealer service. That's Lindy Equipment, your local White dealer at 108 South Idaho Street in Glidden. Or give him a call at 659-3725, Lindy Equipment. Well, the Wildcats have led pretty much this entire ball game. They led by as many as 7 points in this fourth quarter. That was their largest lead, and now they trail by 2 with 20 seconds left. 57-55. Panorama with the lead, and the pass intercepted. It's on the floor. The Wildcats have it, and a traveling called against Glidden Ralston. 12.9 seconds left, and they're going to foul here, I'm sure. Stanley can't get it in, calls timeout. Panorama leads by 2, 57-55. Can't ask much more from this ball game. 12.9 seconds left. Glidden Ralston trails by 2, and they turn the ball over on a travel. Now they'll have to foul, and Seaton does, as he fouls Adam Stringer. Adam Stringer hit a big bucket to give his team this lead. And they've got many to give here. It's only the third team foul committed by Glidden Ralston, so they have a long way to go before they put anyone on the free throw line. And they're going to maybe run out of time to do that. And there's a case where playing clean basketball, not committing many fouls, hurts you, as Seaton commits a foul. They have 2 more to give in 9.5 seconds. You can foul away from the ball, and that's what they're going to have to do. A steal by Rohrbeck. Jason Rohrbeck ties it up with the steal and the bucket. They're trying to get the ball in bounds before Glidden also could foul him. And Rohrbeck stepped in front of that pass and laid it in to tie it up. What a timely score for Rohrbeck. He has 8 points. And we got 4.7 seconds left in this ball game. Panorama will have the ball. And we look like we're heading to overtime. Unless something crazy can happen here at the end. These teams, both of them fighting and scrapping for this victory in West Central Activities Conference action. And Rohrbeck has been quiet with foul trouble tonight. Got 3 early fouls. He hasn't committed a foul in the second half. But he came alive. He hit a big bucket earlier to keep his team ahead. And that one of the biggest ones I'm sure he's hit. Stealing the ball and laying it in. 4.7 seconds. Panorama's got to go the distance. It's all tied up. Kemp has it. Gets it over. Almost stolen. Out of bounds. It will go to Glidden Ralston. And Kirk Talene wants a timeout. So after that turnover, the Wildcats will have a shot at it with 1.1 seconds left in this regulation. We're tied up at 57. A shot at it here. In regulation, it's tied up at 57 apiece. They have 1.1 seconds, so it's going to have to be a quick shot. Morris gets it off. And we're going to overtime. 57-57 is our score. Good game. Don't go away now. We're going to overtime. Tied up at 57. In case you're just joining us, I'll give you a quick synopsis of what happened. Glidden Ralston's led pretty much just throughout this ball game. In fact, they led with about 4 minutes left by 7 points. Panorama comes back to take the lead late in this ball game with 9 seconds left. Jason Warbeck steals an inbounds pass and lays it in to tie it up. Neither team could convert on their chances in the waning seconds of the regulation. And that puts us right here in overtime, tied at 57. Panorama has the ball to start off the extra stanza. Ball tapped around. Last touch by Jason Rohrbeck. It will be Panther basketball. In overtime, play 4 minutes. We get the pass out now to Paul Engel. In there for Glidden Ralston, we've got Jeremy David, Clay Morris, Nathan Seaton, Tony Whitaker, Jason Rohrbeck. There's a man who hit a big three-pointer to give his team a lead. And that one hit the guide wire. The officials not aware that it hit the stanchion wire, which is automatic out of bounds to the non-shooting team. But it turned out as Wildcat basketball anyway. We're tied up at 57 now. 3:20 left in overtime. And Panorama laying back just a little bit, not wanting to get beat on the drive. Nice pass from Whitaker to Morris, and Morris could not finish off that play. And then the foul committed against Glidden Ralston. I don't know if it's Morris on the reach in. We'll find out. It's actually against 12, Jason Rohrbeck. Officials initially signaled 21, but it's 12. It's the fourth on Jason. And what a play that was by Jason, picking off that inbounds pass and in one motion laying it in with 9 seconds left to tie things up. And now it's Tony Whitaker picking up the foul, and Tony has 4, so both Whitaker and Rohrbeck with 4 fouls. Andy Pudens will check in. Just under 3 minutes left in this ball game. And we're still tied here in overtime. At the line for Panorama is Adam Stringer, who hit a couple of big baskets down the stretch. 13 points now for Stringer. Pretty good balanced attack scoring-wise for Panorama. Their starters, Stringer with 14, Stanley with 15, Breitbach and Kemp both with 12. So scoring coming from every position for the Panthers. It's a 2-point Panorama lead now. 2:45 left in overtime. Get it across to Pudens. He spins inside, no good. Ball saved, but into the hands of Mitch Kemp. And now the Panthers will have it. 2.5 minutes left in overtime. 59-57. Panorama, they haven't led much this ball game, but they're leading it here when it counts as the clock is winding down. There's a charge. That goes against Derek Breitbach, and that'll give the ball back to the Wildcats. A little out of control that time was Breitbach. Glidden Ralston has done a pretty good job tonight handling this pressure defense of Panorama. It has gotten to him a little bit here late in regulation, causing a few turnovers. And they're playing a little bit farther out away from the basket than I'm sure you'd like to see them play. In overtime, trailing by 2, and the turnover, standing in the lane too long, gives the ball right back to Panorama. Under 2 minutes now left in overtime. 59-57, Panther lead, and they have the ball. And he's seen so many times the team has a lead and they're trying to take the air out of the ball. A lot of times it just takes them out of their offensive rhythm and leads to turnovers. Almost one there from Engel and Stringer. Try to get the pass down into Kemp. Last touch by Prudence. Out of bounds. Panorama will have it. 1:25 left in overtime. Stringer will inbound it. Engel out top to get it, and Rohrbeck got a hand on that one, knocked it away. Wildcats at the end of regulation when they needed to commit some fouls. And stepping in, and there, the first time we've seen Panorama do it tonight at a very untimely place for that to happen, as Paul Engel stepped in that restraining area as his team was inbounding it, and that's an automatic turnover. Rohrbeck got called for the travel. Still a 2-point lead for Panorama. 1:15 left in this overtime. Stringer, guarded by Danner. Kemp pushing his way around and pushing Rohrbeck around inside. Stringer trying to take the air out. Of course, 50 seconds is a long time to dribble away. Rohrbeck blocked that one as Kemp had position on him, and Rohrbeck blocks it. And the two of them were chatting at each other a little bit. 51.8 seconds left. 59-57. Panorama with the lead. They haven't led much this game, but they lead it right now. That pass, dangerous, and Engel is fouled. Not all bad, I guess. Make him earn it from the free throw line. Jeremy David committing that foul. At the line, Paul Engel has 2 points tonight. Has not shot a free throw. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Rohrbeck. The Wildcats have the ball now with 44 seconds left in overtime. They trail by 2. David just got that one off before he came down. They're looking inside to Pudens. Here's Danner with it, working his way against a double team. Nowhere to go with it. The Wildcats now going to put on the full court press themselves. 31 seconds left. And only 2 points have been scored. And again, stepping over that red line on the out-of-bounds play, causing a turnover. And we've got a timeout. 30 seconds left. Only 2 points scored. It's been by Panorama in overtime. They lead it by 2, 59-57. The Wildcats with 30 seconds left in overtime. Trail by 2. And they have the ball. Looking inside. Now they just need to get it in. They do clear it out to Pudens. Danner. Looks like they want the points to come from the inside. Down to 22 seconds left, and a foul called against Panorama to be on Kemp, I believe, but he has been pushing around in there, and he is out of the ball game. Mitch Kemp. He was actually fortunate he did not get called for an offensive foul as he was working for position on the inside against Rohrbeck, but they did catch him on the defensive side. And that is 5 on him. And he'll have to come out. The officials, I don't know if they know it as of yet. Nope, yeah, he's coming in. In to replace Kemp is Mike Rosso. But bigger than that is the fact that Andy Pudens, probably the best free throw shooter for Glidden Ralston, at the free throw line, trails, his team trailing by 2. So big free throws here with 22 seconds left in overtime. Off the mark, Danner the rebound, has it slapped away, but David controls it for Glidden Ralston. He'll take a little floating jumper. Good. .13 seconds left. Jeremy David ties it up. That floating jumper, that's a second shot like that he's hit on the baseline. 59-59. First points in this overtime period for Glidden Ralston. Panorama only scored 2 themselves, and they called timeout. So we're tied up at 59. The Panthers have the ball with 9.5 seconds left in overtime. 9 seconds left in overtime. We're still tied up. Panorama has the ball. This looks very familiar in regulation. Warbeck stole the ball to tie it up in that same situation. Down to 4 seconds. Wildcats have it. Timeout. And apparently had no timeouts left as they let the clock run out. So we're going to overtime number 2. 59-59 our score. Well, we're going into overtime number 2 here. Both teams scored just 2 points in that first overtime. The Wildcats will start off the second extra stanza here with the ball. David, that shot, he was guarded closely that time, and then he commits the foul. That will send Scott Stanley to the free throw line. That's third personal on Jeremy David now. One difference in this overtime is Panorama is without the man in the middle, Mitch Kemp, who has 12 points on the night, fouled out in overtime number 1. Stanley, pretty decent free throw shooter. He leads his team with 16 points now on the night. And can't get the second one to go. The Wildcats, they trail it by 1, 60-59. Another 4 minutes put on the time clock in this overtime. That shot by Rohrbeck, he thought he was fouled. With the ball, Adam Stringer, who's played well late in this ball game, and a foul called against Glidden Ralston. And that will go against Clay Morris. His second. Back at the line is Adam Stringer. He has 14 points tonight. Gets them both. 16 points for him. It's a 3-point lead. Panorama led by 6 in the first period, but then they got behind and trailed the entire game until the very end. Now they lead it by 3. Well, make it 2. Clay Morris taking it to the hole. He has 6 points all in the second half, and the lead is cut down to 1 now. 62-61. Panorama. And the man, 31, Mike Rosso, zigged when he should have zagged, and the ball goes out of bounds. So the Wildcats would love to regain the lead right here. 3 minutes left in overtime number 2. Both these teams stand at 1-1 in conference play. The Wildcat offense here in the overtime sessions has gotten farther and farther away from the basket, I've noticed. Taking their time, looking for a good opportunity. David gets the pass. Doesn't feel like he has it. He picked up his dribble, needs some help. He gets it back to Morris. Dangerous pass inside to Rohrbeck. Udens. And that call anymore has become automatic. Anytime anyone does a head fake and then wants to drive to the basket, it's almost always called a foul. Just like the reach, or a travel, just like the reach around foul. So Panorama has it. They lead by 1 in a blocking foul. Actually, no, it's against Panorama on the screen, a moving screen against Scott Stanley. Was not set. And the Wildcats will be shooting some free throws now. I believe it'll be Brandon Squibb, and it is. Brandon Squibb and John Augustus had great first halves off the bench. We've seen Squibb a little bit in the second half, but not Augustus a whole lot. As both Rohrbeck and Whitaker, who were in foul trouble in the first half, had done a better job avoiding the fouls in the second. So they've been in there most of the time. The pass is tapped back. The Wildcats have it. Morris leaves it for Rohrbeck. Tough shot. 63-62. Good. Ralston gets the lead back. An acrobatic shot by Guthrie Center. Glidden Ralston goes to 4-1 now in conference play. They win it. 41-39 the final score. Stick around, the boys are